As a family chiropractor, I am blessed to see plenty of families and lots of kids. And we often have interesting conversations about kids' health, kids' stress. Something that comes up consistently with parents is, how do I know how many things to enroll my child in? I want to give my child the best opportunity. I want to make sure they try every sport and every craft and everything that interests them. But how do I make it all happen, particularly if you have multiple kids in a family and you're trying to juggle people's schedules? So I've got 3 things that I want to share with you that might make your life a little bit easier. First of all, remember that life is long, and your children's experience in their lifetime, even in their childhood, of different sports they want to try or different hobbies is the ability to do so. They have years and years and years to do this, and they will often guide you in their interest. So the first thing I would ask yourself is, whatever your children are enrolled in, do they love it? Are they resistant to it? Are they giving you any kind of pushback? Yes, sometimes children need a little bit of a nudge. They need a little bit of coaxing, especially if they're more shy or more introverted. They need some kind of direction and support to get them out of their shell. But pay attention very closely to whether this event or these activities are becoming more of a stress to the child and to your family than they are bringing any kind of joy, because that's what these things are supposed to do, right? They're supposed to help kids understand who they are and learn new skills and make new friends. So if that is not what's happening, take a step back and reevaluate. Which brings me to the second question I have for you. Have you noticed any changes in your child's behavior or in their body in any kind of functions? Is there any change in any of their patterns that they have? The reason this comes up is because stress definitely affects kids. It just shows up a little bit differently. You may not think that, your kids going to different activities every night is a big deal. But if you start to notice changes in your child's temperament, if you notice changes in their basic physiology, suddenly they're getting headaches, suddenly they're getting sick more often, suddenly they're having issues going to the bathroom, different functional changes within the body. If you start to see any of these things, then I encourage you to, again, take a step back and evaluate what is going on with the big picture of this family. Is it too much? Is all the excitement and all the activities, is it too much for your child? And do you need to pull back so that they actually have more time just to be and to explore and to get their health at a really calm, naturally growing level? The third thing I would encourage you to ask yourself as a parent is, how do these activities work for the family unit as a whole? We absolutely know that children thrive with routines and with exploration and time in nature and time for free play, which means supervised time to play, where they're not coached, they're not given rules, they're actually able to explore their environment, they're able to explore negotiating with other kids and coming up with rules and being creative and imaginative. These things are crucial for child development. So they need time for this. So not only do the kids need time for this, but you as an adult and a parent need time for rest and relaxation and joy. And if you're finding that there's too many things going on and your health is getting depleted, you're becoming overwhelmed, you're drained, what can you pull back? Where can you make some tweaks? Where can you adjust the whole family schedule so that it's more reasonable for everyone included? It doesn't have to be, 5 activities, for one child and then 5 for the other one, and you find yourself that you're not having time as a family to connect, you're not having time for dinners, you're not having these just fun moments of spontaneity because you're running all over the place. Look, I get it. Both my sons played competitive sports. There was many nights we were driving all over the place, having dinner and then going to practice and another dinner afterwards. But we were able to modify it, and my rule for my sons, and this is what worked for me, which I'm sharing it for you, was they always had one sport they were committed to, and they could get involved with the school things as well. But as a team, they were allowed to have one sport. And that took up a lot of our time. One played competitive hockey, the other played competitive baseball. They also were allowed to indulge themselves in any kind of creative activities. So whether, guitar, piano were big things in our family. But that was it. It wasn't that they were playing on 3 different teams after school and we were running all over the place, because I just knew that it wasn't right for us and it wasn't going to keep us connected. Okay, so if your family is thriving and doing great, amazing. You want to keep them doing so. If you are finding there's any stress or strain or any kind of just intuitive feeling that you have in your body that maybe there's too much going on, I invite you to ask your family and yourself these 3 questions. 1, is your kid having fun? Is this the right thing for them? Or is there any resistance? 2, have you noticed any change in their behavior or in how they're being, their little bodies? That's an indicator of stress. The third is, how's this working for you? because we know that happy parents have happy families, and you deserve to have that kind of peace within your family as well. If you have questions about pediatric health or your health as an adult, we're always here to support you. Please reach out, and we are happy to send your referral to someone else if we can help.